Hi, Gene here with today's thought. As I'm recording this, Trump is in his car, his entourage, on the way to his plane to fly to New York to be arraigned in what I consider, and I think most Americans by now consider to be a politically motivated persecution of a former president and most likely candidate for the 2024 election, Donald Trump. I don't want to get into the details of the case too much. I think I did that in a past vlog, and we'll have to see what happens in the court, because there's going to be a motion from Trump's lawyers to dismiss, because what you're talking about is a misdemeanor that has a 2-year statute of limitations. This happened 7 years ago, and this crazy far left wing district attorney is trying to shoehorn that into a campaign finance violation. That law statute of limitations ran out 2 years ago, but he's making this argument that, well, you can extend this is under New York law, you can extend the statute of limitations if the accused has been out of state. But that obviously means you're talking about a state crime, not a federal crime. And where was he when he was out of state? He was president of the United States. He was in Washington, D.C., in the White House, fulfilling his duties as the president of the United States. So it is just absurd. There are so many grounds on which to dismiss this case, but you're talking about Manhattan that voted against Trump. 85% voted against Donald Trump. So also if this thing goes forward, which I hope it won't, a sensible judge should dismiss this. If not, the next step should be a change of venue, that it should be tried maybe Staten Island, somewhere where 85% of the prospective jury pool hates Donald Trump and voted against him. So I see all kinds of problems here. But the one I want to get here to today is, obviously this is going to be an issue in the election if he is the candidate, and especially if he becomes a nominee, as it looks increasingly like he will be, because his lead over Ron DeSantis expanded after this indictment came through. People are really outraged, and I'm a little outraged, well, not just about this, but that there are other Republican candidates such as Asa Hutchinson who are still in the race. They have no chance of winning the nomination. They should all, as I think it was Kash Patel, it was Richard Grenell, former deputy director of national intelligence, or he was a temporary director of national intelligence. I forget his exact title, but anyways, said that all the other candidates should drop out. They should immediately drop out, get behind Donald Trump. Conservatives need to be unified on this. So I'm disappointed in that respect. But Trump is going to be brought up again and again and again during a campaign, and because it'll be months before this even goes to trial with all the motions and the jury selection, if it does go forward. And yeah, he should be able to respond. He should be able to reply to his critics, but there's a chance that the judge in Manhattan, where 85% of the people, and I wouldn't be surprised, 100% of the judges hate Donald Trump, and that this judge will impose a gag order and forbid him from discussing the case. So he'll have to sit there while he's attacked day after day, hour after hour on TV, radio, internet, you name it, and be unable to respond. So my advice to Donald Trump is ignore the order now. If it comes forth now, the punishment for violating the order, for violating a gag order in New York, is a fine of $1,000 or up to 30 days in jail. So if this judge imposes a gag order, to show how ridiculous this whole thing is, this judge imposes this gag order and Trump exercises his First Amendment right to speak out on this, then I would, because there's no reason for the gag order. The point of a gag order is that it might prejudice a jury if people go and discuss the case, but it's being discussed all over the place. So that point doesn't make any sense. It would just be just like this is a political persecution, it would be a politically motivated gag order to prevent Trump from defending himself in the marketplace of ideas. So I would say Donald Trump, he says he's going to make a statement 8:15 tomorrow night, Tuesday night. You're seeing this on well, actually, yeah, you're seeing the Tuesday. So tonight, 8:15, he said he's going to make a statement. Now, if this gag order comes through, I would say, number one, ignore the order, exercise your First Amendment right and your right as a candidate to speak your mind on the issues of the day, including this indictment, which would probably be almost a 90, because that's the point of it. The other point of this is to bury all these Biden scandals, and no one's talking about the millions of dollars, the $1.5 million that his family got from China, from the Chinese Communist Party connected company. So that's one of the other points of this. So he should ignore the order, and then if I would expect the judge to, he might impose the 30-day sentence, and I would say, well, fine, impose the sentence. If the judge instead imposes a $1,000 fine, I would say I'm not going to pay that fine. If I were Donald Trump, I refuse to pay the fine. You'll have to put me in jail. Put me in jail for 30 days. Let the whole country see this persecution for what it is. Put me in jail for 30 days. And if the judge does nothing, then, and he says, I'll peacefully surrender, I'll go 30 days or 1 day or whatever you want to make, I will go in jail, and the whole country and the whole world can see this. And then we'll see what happens in the election. You think it's going to hurt me? I think it's going to help me. So Trump, not me personally. That's what I would do, and then I would say, because you see these liberals, all these stations. It's funny. There's a talking point goes out, and then they all say the same phrase. There'll be a phrase, and they'll just all repeat it. Every liberal station and website, and the phrase this time is "Nobody is above the law." So if the judge, if Trump refuses the order and he's not going to pay the fine, then the next step would have to be a jail sentence. And if the judge doesn't put him in jail, Trump would say, well, I don't want to be above the law. You're saying nobody's above the law. I don't want to be above the law. Put me in jail. Lock me up. Lock me up. That's what I would do if I were Donald Trump. And that's my thought for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that's great. But I would love to see all of you again. Until I do, bye.